What's up, YouTube? COD4Man221 here, and welcome to another Company of Heroes 2 online series I have going on my channel, where we have the Western Armies factions featured here for the United States, and we also have some Over Commando West. Now, I thought this was a good match. Keep in mind that I do a decent amount of matches, and not all of them do go on the YouTube. I'm being a little more selective lately, because you guys don't want to see me completely dominate two new guys that are like level 5 and 6, right, that we happen to play against, or get matched up against. Anyway, so we can see I've gone with the armor company for the Americans here. I'm starting to really like this one. I want to try to start using the Air Force one, the paratrooper thing. I think it's right here for Rebel. Yeah, Airborne Company. Because if I want to get better with the Pathfinders, bring some tips to you guys, show you how to use them. Anyway, you can see the from a lot of pretty aggressive push so far from the Over Commando West. You know, a lot of trucks decisively kind of moving up. This almost looks like a convoy with Kurt here, with like the truck following. So we can see these Storm Pioneers. This is a unit that's been that people have had questions about. I mean, especially online. These guys are not your standard Pioneers. They cost more. I think it's 40 manpower to replace one of these guys. It does cost a decent amount, but these guys shouldn't be used for frontline troops here. They cost 320, so they cost a little more. They're a little more expensive than the average guy. First off, we have some flanking units here. I have my own guys here, so you can see out in the open with surrounded on 3 sides. You know, any unit would probably be in trouble, but these Sturm Pine, you can see right here. I'm trying to flank this this truck here. We're just focusing fire. This thing is very light armor. If you can get around its machine, you can see it has an angle there. Especially like a mobile MG42, you can force it back. You see, they are doing some damage to the riflemen, but these units here, by the way, if they get destroyed, you can see these units over here. These guys are good for flanking. If your main folks are engaged, these guys can come in from the side and really do some damage. Anyway, you can see the south is being double teamed at this point. We are kind of focusing on the middle, and we're going to keep pushing. You know, you can see riflemen and conscripts working together, and he did activate volley fire, which will suppress these guys and ultimately pin if they do not retreat. I'm bringing up my riflemen. We are getting flanked by some Volks over here, so I'm going to start shooting at them. And they do push back behind some light cover behind these trees here. So once the MG42's gone, we're in trouble. Trucks have been nerfed. You saw in like my number 3 video that, you know, if they did run over some troops, you can't do that anymore. They will get destroyed. So you can see that my guys, the MG42, you know, it's kind of halted our advance a little bit. But any veteran guys, a nice rifle smoke grenade would be nice. But I do have these guys. They're gonna come try to flank. Got a flamethrower up. I'm kind of liking the push we're doing in the center here. I think it's kind of good to hurt the enemy early. Unfortunately, we run into a bunch of Volks Grenadiers. And I just see these guys here, and I see the MG pulling back, and I say I got to retreat. These units are pretty flexible. I do like them. They're very good in urban maps with the... I'm actually showing you one of those, one of the new urban maps. I think it's like Lease or something. And you said I did volley fire, so this will, because there's 2 units here, it will completely suppress them. And I meant to click on this unit, but you know, they kind of focus on any units in front of them, and they're just going to rapidly, you know, pretty much just go bam, 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 and they're just pretty much going to shoot the enemy as fast as they can. I did build a position here. Now, keep in mind the flank position. It gives your guys heavy cover, but only when these guys are near do they have rifle grenades. So I'm being flanked, and I have no problem with focusing these guys down. You can see as they get closer, they start to do some more damage, but under heavy rifle fire, these guys will not last too long. So to pull back this rifleman, I'm creating another rifleman squad. I have some guys back at base that I need to be reinforcing. You can see now massive infantry engagement so far. It's been about 4 minutes, and look how much the infantry blob is right here. Lots and lots of Volks Grenadiers. The guys on Rickety Ross has been pushed back to the south here. I do have my guys with rifle grenades, and I see this blob, you know, in the fog of war, and I'm just like, there is no way in hell. I'm just going to have to abandon my position. There goes some manpower. We're going to leave behind some poor rear echelon troops. One of my riflemen that was killed in action there. So I have a lieutenant here, and I'm reinforcing my men. I'm gonna start moving them back up to the front line. I really hate looking at my base. Like, it's not like a bad thing, but I hate getting my eyes off of the combat here. I usually just click on these things to bring up units. So if you ever see a unit standing at base that's full health, I just haven't clicked it back up yet. So I think Ricky Ross gave up on the island. So we're facing some. It's really bad on this map when you lose both fuels. Usually the bottom two players like me and Ricky Ross could have double teamed the south, but you know it's really important that we kind of held this center here. Ricky Ross seems like there's a lot of men in that trench. I was telling them you're gonna get grenaded. You can see they do have wow, 3 Volks from one player direct to another player and a Storm Pioneer. You can see with our troops here out in the middle of the open. I am targeting these Storm Pioneers. I'm trying to push them back. And then this is the thing a lot of the Overcommand and West are using. They're using these half tracks now, the flak half tracks. Very deadly to infantry early on. So the Maxims are moving up. We are kind of shredding these infantry in the center. It's important if we take out this Veterans E1 Volk, but he did withdraw there. Goat is using that's Rebel actually. I think Rebel used some anti-tank grenades, and look, we even have a Greyhound out by Rebel. 72 actually means Rebel. And then he backs up right into these guys. But you can see he's focused firing directly on that unit, and if that unit gets wiped out, 90 missions down the drain. When you get an engagement like this, it's just you gotta watch your infantry units. You know, that guy got wiped out, couldn't help with the rifle grenades here. More of my men are up here. I do have a 50 cal. Starting to suppress this assault. So there's been a hell of a lot of action the first 6 minutes of this game. You can see massive waves. Full push on this side. Lots of casualties so far. I mean, look, I already have. Well, it seems like a lot of casualties so far. Anyway, this guy in the south, you know, not too. He's really like focused on the center. Everyone's pretty much on the center. And, you know, they're doing a good job harassing the field up here. I mean, they're doing a good job harassing the munitions, because right now we're getting way too much resistance for the Americans. It's an Achilles heel of the Americans. If they don't have munitions, they can't upgrade with their bars, and they can't upgrade with bazookas. I did get a bazooka rack. I'm going to upgrade about 1 unit with that. You can double upgrade certain things. Like, when you do unlock the bazooka rack, like you can grab 1 or 2 of them, and then you can do, I noticed you can do it with a bar, like you can grab 2 bars, I think. I was pretty sure it was something like that. I remember grabbing 2 of something. Or maybe you can upgrade 1 bazooka, 1 of the, those things. I'll have to figure it out next time I do the Americans. A lot of people like the Overcommand of West. I like them too, but I like to be flexible, as you guys saw with the Soviets and the Wehrmacht. You know, I did a lot of games on both and really got to understand both factions. I've never like gone into a multiplayer like kind of Heroes 2, where I'm keeping up with the patches, you know, understanding the strategy and tactics behind what's going on, seeing the unique units. So I mean, pretty much doubling that, getting these new factions. I just love to see even more of these, like the British or the Italians or the Romanians. I'd love the Finnish faction. Like that actually became a thing. Can you imagine like doing a winter war? I mean, even adding this mini campaign or something. And look how awesome this unit looks. These are the assault engineer squads. They do have a satchel charge. It's a little bit different. You actually plant it on the ground. It's not like you throw it. Well, actually, I guess it gives you a little ghost to where you're planting it. It's not like the other one. So this flak half track, pretty deadly. I have a lot of my men right here. Keep in mind, it's still a half track though. So my 50 cows are moving up in sync together. Pretty much I want to stop any advance. The 50 cows you have to set up, so if you leave them like this, they can just get shot to pieces. So I'm going to try to take back this field, because frankly I see a problem. And now they're going to start using these Fallschirmjägers to flank me. Luckily they went after his MG first, so I'm able to like turn my MGs here. I'm at least turning 1. So thankfully this MG slowed him down. And then I just happen to have these guys coming from the side here, so I didn't mean to flank, but I actually, you know, got these guys flanked here. Fallschirmjägers, pretty good units, especially on maps of buildings. You can get, I remember getting behind enemy lines. So like if they won, they could pop the Fallschirmjägers out of this house. It's just like the partisans, so you can use them to really harass. So because I kept this one facing here, I mean, if I can see them on the fog of war, they're pretty much in trouble. So I'm going to start sending a force down south. I have a feeling that, you know, we're still fighting over this field. They're pretty heavily defending it. We're having a lot of fights in the north. You can see conscripts getting killed. Massive infantry engagements going on. That the south is probably weak. You know, attack your opponent's weakness, just like they did up here with our field on the victory point. So I'm going to have these guys, here's my plan. I'm going to have these guys flank down here. Come on, I can't see any of the MGs. These These guys are going to take this, and these guys are going to go for the cutoff, possibly see if any troops. That way there's an MG facing any one of these directions that could probably overwhelm it. Unfortunately, this guy sees me taking his VP, is going to send reinforcements. You can see the MG-42s there, it's isolated, it's facing the wrong, well, they didn't expect us to flank. It's actually to the south temporarily. I do have my 50 cals at the middle there. We are taking their field. So that's the thing, like if you're losing the middle, just push hard in the south. That's what you usually have 2 players. They just completely abandoned that. You can see he's running right past these guys. I'm really trying to wipe out that squad. So I got that squad down. You know, you're up close with a lieutenant with a bar. You're not going to win that fight with grenadiers. I mean, the bars have great firepower, and I'm really trying to get that unit while I wipe it. And, you know, this victory was short-lived in the south. It was an awesome one. That's a great way to actually oppose the Americans. Is if you cut them off of munitions and they're doing these kind of like mass blob things, right, without bazookas, you can really devastate them that way with that. So you can see I'm trying to take the field here, but my men are just getting hammered by this awesome enemy. So, you know, I said, you know, at least I neutralized it. It's not going to, both fields neutralized right now. At least I'm not going to lose that squad, because it'd be very bad. So you can see I am now waiting for a good old Jackson, my favorite Jackson, probably my new favorite tank from this. I do like these Sherman bulldozers, which you'll see a little bit later in this match. Yeah, I would recommend 9 times out of 10 on this map to go with the armor doctrine here, because I mean, look at the advantage. You have the Wolverine, you have the bulldozer, you have these elite crews, you have the assault engineers. I mean, Airborne is dropping. This guy is dropping like 50 cals and stuff, so he's using his doctrine well. Rebel is using the Airborne doctrine. So you can see they're repairing, you know, Rickety Ross is going to become an AI any second. He lost his connection. They're retaking the south. It's a temporary victory. You can see though, the Americans can counter the blobs with their own, and they can use grenades and the bars. You can see the bars are devastating. However, you can drop the bars though. So you see he's withdrawing the weaker units first. Lieutenant's taking a lot of fire, but now it's Infantry 3. He's got to pull back that lieutenant. Bolshevingers are mixed in, and he's not going to lose all those guys, I don't think. So, actually, Ricky Ross is still here. He wanted to get this thing, but... So, I've already talked about this before, but I use the Jacksons to skirmish. I mean, I basically treat them like archers from Total War. You know, very early SU tactics for the SU-85. I just pull up, do the focus sight, fire, and get back. Jacksons on their own will get destroyed if they get surrounded. They have very weak armor. They can't really take on armor head on. The goal is to use the range, get spotters. You know, I'd love to see an American sniper as a unit. I mean, they did have snipers after all. I mean, they don't have mortars or snipers, which is a little weird for me. I could definitely see a sniper popping in on one of these trees, probably in the first thing, you know. Same thing as a German sniper, just one guy. You can see there's still a little bit of glitches, like the gun positioning itself and floating in the air weirdly because the guy got killed. But we do have a T-34 now with the suppression from the MGs here picked up by Goat. He even picked up a 50 cal, and the tank pushing that flag track did get destroyed. Another push coming from the north. Here's a way to beat the Oberkommando West. Destroy this building, the battle group headquarters, if you can, like it's isolated like that. I'm gonna try to do this in a little bit. Here's the awesome Jackson. Love it. So as my allies are kind of pushing in the center, or at least, wow, look at that blob coming. As my allies are pushing in the center, I'm gonna make a push down south. And these are our own mines, so I was just double checking before I rolled right over them. They can detonate. I was really hoping that, yeah, so there's Rickety Ross. Green player on my screen is now gone. Trying to do a counter up there. Very effective force of the Puma. So the MG was forced to focus on this, and I'm just going to completely outflank it. So I'm starting to take shots onto this medical thing. He might try to save it. You can see they are doing harassment. Packs are pretty deadly. You can see he's using the built-in good effect here. Goat is. But there's another anti-tank gun down there. You can see I'm doing a hell of a lot of damage to these guys. The AI actually does a very good job in this match. Well, I'm Of course, the blobs here again. I lost my vet to infantry squad. I'm about to lose my lieutenant. You just got to retreat from that kind of engagement. You have those little men. These guys have their FG-42s. So I damaged that heavily, right? But I saw these guys come with like, when you see a 4 or a 5, yeah, 4 chevron Wells Grenadier with a Panzer Strike, you got to get the heck back. Because I saw this kind of forces my infantry here, right? So I decided I had to fall back there. But I will be back to take out those guys. You can see he's getting behind the lines. They hit Pumas for one of the new like breakthrough tactics. You can see they almost carried that commander over exact. Well, actually, they're both. Yeah, they both went poof off, and this guy didn't even pick a dodger. So here now I have 33 kills and 30 deaths. 45, 43. Yeah, it's definitely a very bloody battle here. Almost 1 for 1 for most of the players. So that guy got destroyed. I was surprised to see the AI, like, no one does this, but you can actually repair machine guns, and it's very effective actually if you repair the it's very effective if you repair the anti-tank guns. See, they have that bar over there. To see this Osman harassing the AI, and I'm like, nope. Load AP shell, prepare to fire. So you can see where we can easily see that Osman. It's a cool view. It's like first person almost. So I'm gonna push forward. I'm really not afraid. I want to take out this Osman. Basically, if I take out the Osman, it opens up the south. We miss again. Had a lot of trouble hitting this. And I do have to fall back, unfortunately, there. But all is not lost. I do have the base right here. Now keep in mind, do you know how expensive these trucks are? Let's go to, come on, one of these guys has to have the truck. Chaos, maybe? Okay, let's look at these trucks. This is 200 manpower, 40 fuel, and 80 fuel. So, like, if you get rid of these half tracks, or these trucks that basically are their base, there's a whole lot of damage. You can see they are pushing in. I do have a Sherman here. I'm firing HE. It's very important you don't forget to change back like I do, because if you're going against a Panther or something that may come out, you better be shooting AT rounds. I'm sorry, armor-piercing rounds at it. Stukas is coming out, devastating this area where my tank was. Even hurt my tank decently. We have my Major just kind of hanging out. Yeah, he's a Major. I don't know why earlier I might have said Captain before in a different video. And I'm falling back from the blob. And my kind of solution are these machine guns, but I am losing them. You can see how quickly they're going down. It's still kind of the glitch there. So I'm going to fall back my rifleman. I do have my lieutenant up here. I do have 2 riflemen up here. And now that I've researched this and I have plenty of munitions from earlier, I'm going to start giving all my men bars to help combat these blobs. So I'm going to pull back. You can see I had my tank destroyer there. Doing reverse, not wanting to expose the rear to our enemy. And I didn't pull back far enough, so I was a little upset seeing those guys fall. My poor Sherman. You can see my lieutenant. I'm like, what are you doing? I clipped an attack order on a unit, and he's gonna get wiped out here if I don't get back. You can establish a retreat point now, which is pretty awesome. You can see that Osman's here again, just devastating the AI. The AI is trying to attack the Osman with a machine gun. But it is doing a great job because it is harassing the south and just keeping constant pressure on them. You can see they put all their trucks around here. You can see when he retreated, though, he's retreating to his battle group headquarters. Since I destroyed one of their headquarters, we're going to have to reestablish that in an even closer proximity. It's going to put them down 40 field, which is a decent amount if you have to get a tank. And I just destroyed that Osman. My tank, see how it kind of rolled up there, and you know the AI was giving me like sight on it. That's how you want to use these guys. Then you can just repair. I kind of like when I was doing the overgrade West, I'm like, why can't my guys hop out and repair? It's kind of a cool thing the Americans have. And then Stukas, keep in mind, I can only fire about every like 70 or 80 seconds, like at least on this patch. You can see the AI has shock troops that are manning the shock troops and a conscript that are going to man the 50 cal. One of us dropped previously. And Stukas is going to pull back. Anyway, the south has fallen again, pretty much to 2 Panthers. And a very determined MG crew. I'm a little nervous with 2 Panthers out. I'm just hoping I can grab another, I'm getting a Sherman, that's right. I'm grabbing a Sherman and an ambulance. I know right now that if I can keep kind of a forward command, you know, ambulance up here, I can reinforce my own troops and have them not have to fall back all the way to base. That'll greatly help me keep more of my men at the front line. This is a very aggressive fight. They have their own kind of little front line back here, you know, where they're getting all their repairs and stuff. So see the Panther? I'm kind of daring the Panther, and I'm trying to lure it forward to get hit by from range from my tank here. You can see a Stuka Fus right there would be devastating. Same thing right around here. You know, it's a big cluster of guys there. Wow, you can really just see the devastation of the Sherman on these guys. 6 infantry kills, that's quite a lot. And when units are wounded, they do provide line of sight for your enemy. Just keep that in mind. So this would be a great target for the Stuka Fus. And my tank's turned this way for some reason. I'm going to turn it around and bring up my my Sherman. I actually want to put it right on the hill to kind of snipe that Panther. Look at that awesome skin. Like, that is so cool. Look at that. Anyway, I see 2 Panthers having fun. I did hit its rear armor, so we're just getting more veterancy with... We can now use the high velocities, high armor piercing shells or whatever. It's very good against heavy armor, especially when you're going against the front of a Panther. I have this tank tell me, you know, if he tries getting closer, he's probably going to see 2 tanks on the ridge. I'm trying to take out my troops that are kind of stopping his fall, or at least one of their falchion makers. I'm just going to pop the fall back. Once again, exposing the rear armor, not retreating in time. And with our long range, we're going to be able to wipe out that Panther. You can see the IS-2 Gotai-2 is coming here. They're taking a couple rear shots on these Panthers. And they got 18-aided, and they are screwed. So there goes 2 Panthers. A lot of fuel. A lot of munitions, and keep in mind, these guys don't get a ton of munitions. I'm sorry, they don't get a ton of fuel and man. Well, they have to get manpower, but they don't get a ton of fuel per minute. You can see about 30. Oh, that's because this guy, yeah, he has his armored trucks. Good, someone did go with breakthrough doctrine here. You can see it's some marks, it doesn't have the Puma. Anyway, let's just see how much one of these costs. 175, 490 manpower, just pretty much as much as regular one cost. So you can see they're going to try to push up. And then with that AI helping suppress the enemy, we're just beating these guys back with lots of losses. And we're going to take back the field again. The south is pretty much... Look at that, just devastated this area. So you can see that GOAT is the Russians, and Rebel has been dropping these anti-tank guns all over the field. Well, at least up here to help supply his conscripts. So that really helps. Look at that blob. Like, how many units are there? There's like 8 units right there. I got news for you. Machine guns galore. Shermans will just utterly devastate this blob. Don't blob up like this. It will get your men killed. Even with the AT, I mean... This would be great for killing these guys with the Sherman bulldozer. They're all suppressed, beat back with heavy losses. The Americans are going to go a ton of bars. And they even have this. And that bombing strike missed a lot of men there. And it even went down back here. It actually almost killed the Major. In fact, the Major did die. This is only just his rear echelon troops, so he has to get that Major back. Also, if they ever do that with that officer, aim for the officer. Once the officer dies, the whole blob just retreats. And you can see Stormvik just killing more guys. He's hopefully trying to get this Stuka Fus, which is very light armor. The AI is pushing in the south again. There's not really anything to stop him. Keep in mind, if you're going to do the orbital blitz, you want to do it on an actual fuel point. It gives you more fuel than on a regular standard point even with a fuel cache. And you want it, I mean, it's a very vulnerable truck, so you probably want to put it like way behind your lines. Like, here's good. Even over here would be better than that one right on the lines. Same thing about building fuel caches. You want to put them right on the front lines unless you're really desperate. You can see our fuel caches are back here. Actually, yeah, you can see we don't have one right here. Only he built that early on, but you really don't have. You want to have some kind of territory to bring your fuel cache. So Stuka Fus will just gonna pop up again and try to devastate this area. He's gonna try to get. He's gonna barrage that, wipe out a machine gun crew. and the blob is coming, and I'm telling Goat to get the heck back, you know. I see the blob coming through the fog of war because of his snipers there. And these guys, you know, you can see a lot of troops right there. So I'm going to try to do volley fire, you know, slow down these guys. They are going to die. But it's important for me to stop this blob temporarily. You can see they're moving quite fast. They're probably using breakthrough tactics. So you can see the South is falling, you know, they have a Tiger down here that I was able to see. And the AI is a T-70. T-70, no chance against the Tiger. You can see I've kind of made my, you know, I got a decent little armor force up here to take on some more Panthers. And I do have my rifleman and another 50 cal. All riflemen now have either a bazooka upgrade, you know, to help out, or they... I called this to try to kill some infantry, but it did not work. Quite actually expensive. I did call one around here at some point, and you know, it wasn't very good. See, they do have medics here. I love this truck, this battle group headquarters, because it heals your men. It can also act as a retreat point, so you can keep like a forward kind of post there. It's great. Same thing with the Americans. This ambulance is quite good. You know, I can reinforce my men and heal them up. Also, your medics can hop out, and you can like bring them the injured soldiers. Like it won't. It can like come out of the vehicle, right? So you can kind of make sure, like if they go into a dangerous situation, you can pull them out of their vehicle. There's a lot of AT around. They can kind of heal your troops, but they're not going to pick up a man and put him in this. I really like that about the first aid stations in COH1. Like, I loved it. I loved having like the post, and you could see the medic go pick up a wounded man, at least bring him back to give him some help. And here it's like, nope, you can heal your man, otherwise the wounded just die. It's like, yeah. Obersoldaten, you can see the combination of the T-34 and T-5 with the IS-2 is quite a deadly combination against these guys, and they're just resorting to blob tactics, and that will fail you, you know. Let's see, this guy has 12 infantry kills right now. And I guess she's going to land these right here. You can hurt the armor with that. That's not a question, but you want to... It should be, like, if he keeps targeting right here, it could do a lot of damage. I'm going to turn these guys out and just repair my tank. See, this crew is Veterancy 3, but the tank itself is Veterancy 2, which gives it advanced training, improves vehicle sighting, accuracy, and rate of fire. Awesome. Yeah, this is not a fast-firing tank destroyer, but it does, that's how they kind of balance it. This guy got, look at this Tiger, it got hit. Let's go to Rebel really quickly. It got hit by like some kind of strafing run, rocket strafe. Did I say strife? And then something else just goes in and devastates it. Like, I guess it wasn't done. That is a very beat up Tiger. Definitely wasn't me. But yeah, look, that Tiger's like on its last leg. And guess what? I see this. I'm like, hello, Mr. Tiger. My cat, I was calling them Hellcats. My Jacksons want to play. So I think he's possibly leading me into a trap. And somehow, through the fog of war, even though my tank couldn't see it, it fired. I guess it could track it or something. And I'm like, okay, see how kind of skirmish got my guys out of there. So I sent these infantry to kill the AT gun that was possibly blocking and damage my tanks. And I have my infantry kind of screen. So I'm going to destroy this fuel cache and take back our fuel. I do have some Panzer Grenadiers down here. That's at least what I'm planning on. You can see the blob. Blob tanks are going after us here. That is my lieutenant, so we are in negative cover, unfortunately. But so are they, so I need to get some reinforcements to them. It'll be a debate who would win. Until I got hit by, that's how I lost my lieutenant. They threw a grenade. So they wiped out my Vet 3 lieutenant there with a grenade. I was pretty lucky. And you can just see, getting strafed. He's just going to run him over. He's going to, you know, they can't fire their strikes. And look at that. He's ran over like 9 guys. And I'm calling airstrikes around here. And, you know, you can see the shock troops are here. Completely devastating. Like, look, this infantry blob, right? Utterly devastated. Our Armies have to fall back now. They're pretty much spamming AT with high batteries. I'm telling you, you gotta get out of there. And look, there's a it's a Yog Tiger. Destroyed quite a couple of those. So we get the armor thing on my. I think it was also 44 on the steps. He's trying to take this out. It's a heavy tank, so it could cut through right here, but it's gonna stop. He's gonna lose it. He's pretty much doing a massive amount of damage. These guys, you can see we have plenty of fuel. We have both sides of the fuel. The bars sound great, actually. They kind of kept that same thing about upgrading your men with bars. These guys are barely alive, too. The south has fallen. We're attacking units on retreat. This is where Goat's telling him just run over the guys like he did with his, just like we did with the T-34-85s. But the men are having trouble pathing. And those guys are just massively reinforcing. He's killing units, that's for sure. Man, I wish right now I had saved my strike. So he's gonna fall back, and I'm telling him like, hey, you know, get your tanks out of there. You can at least destroy this. Because that thing was bombarding me. Anyway, I'm kind of playing a little conservative right now with my tanks here. You know, I don't want to, especially not with these. These guys are not meant to like do those charge-in kind of things, right? Especially not against this blob. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 units in a blob. And that's when they decide to surrender. I hope you guys enjoy this. Cut from T21 signing off. Leave some comments down below what you guys want to see. Do you want to see more American gameplay, more Over Commando West? I'm probably going to go back and forth. I definitely like to do about almost every other. You can see the kills there. I was negative because I was inviting those blobs. These guys did a great job, Rebel and Goat, you know, taking on those blobs, doing quite a lot of kills. And then the computer even did. Well, the computer got more kills than me. Anyway, I thought it was kind of good how I used the these Jackson tank destroyers to take out those guys in the beginning. You saw that fierce back and forth with the infantry and stuff, and they lost because they blobbed, and they also quit. You know, they're down to 33 victory points anyway. They completely lost the map. Hope you guys enjoyed. Caught from N221 signing off.